distinguished guests, good morning, everyone. It is my honor to have the opportunity to speak with you today on behalf of the Thailand Board of Investment and to go over opportunities for investing in medical industry in Thailand, especially in light of the impacts of COVID in the last 2 years plus. The medical industry is a priority sector for investment and further developments, as what outlined in the Ministry of Health Strategic Plan of Thailand, which serves as an important blueprint in the effort to make Thailand a hub of wellness and medical services. The goal to develop Thailand into a medical hub is part of a concerted national strategy of supporting sustainable human development by leveraging the country's strength in the manufacturing supply chain, the medical industry, and biotechnology to strengthen economic competitiveness over the long term. While government is adopting and implementing policies to strengthen Thailand as a medical hub, the country already has a strong foundation in health-related sectors with an ability to meet rising demand for health services while offering attractive and competitive investment incentives. With a large number of modern medical facilities and premium healthcare specialists, Thailand has become popular and a leading medical tourism destination for patients from abroad who are seeking a range of medical care, treatments, and services at reasonable cost. And as many countries, including Thailand, face demographic shift and become aging society, the needs will only increase for medical care, treatments, services for senior citizens, whether medical tourism or senior and assist living facility. The high level of demand from patients from abroad has provided the impetus for a range of technological advances, medical devices, pharmaceutical products, clinical research studies, and other related services, and also means that there are opportunities available for new companies that may be looking to enter the Thai medical market. The country not only offers opportunities in the market as a healthcare destination, but also accommodate investors with a comprehensive supply chain. Manufacturers can access essential raw material, clinical trial centers for testing drugs, and manufacturing facility for production. Therefore, it's also an opportune time for investors, especially from Europe, to explore and engage in business and investment opportunity in Thailand. I often convey this message about our hope for a higher level of European engagement across sectors and industry. So I encourage to get in touch with the BOI to see how we can assist you and to get the latest information on our incentive, privilege, and the investment policies and promotion measures. We would be pleased to discuss your investment objective and how they match up the eligible activity and investment promotion criteria. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gradually overcoming the pandemic. We are optimistic, and if I can underscore that the medical industry, comprised of numerous high potential sectors, is a unique opportunity for investors, especially for this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Khun Songklin, for your presentation. Next, I would like to introduce our first speaker. He is Mr. Sutiket Tatpitak-Kul, Director of Investment Promotion Division from Thailand Board of Investment. He will talk, among other things, about the BOI incentives packages for medical sector. Thank you, Khun Sutiket.
Yeah, thank you, Loiko. Good morning, all participants. First of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciations for your kind interest and attending the BOI seminar today. My name is Sutiket Tatpitak-Kul, Executive Director of the Investment Promotion Division, Thailand Board of Investment. My duty is responsibility for supporting and promoting investment in the medical business that consists of medical devices, medical foods, pharmaceuticals, and medical services. Okay, the next slide. Okay, for today's topics, investment supportive measure for medical and healthcare industry. Director Jajjan has assigned me to present around 15 minutes. So my presentation divided into two parts. The first part is about the opportunity in medical and healthcare industry in Thailand. And the second topic, I will present about the investment supportive measures. Let me introduce about the facts of medical industry in Thailand, which is the situations before virus COVID-19 pandemic. In overview, medical business in Thailand has been a solid healthcare infrastructure already in place, and we have been the international reputation of its highly skilled medical professionals and international standard medical services. Nowadays, Thailand has become a medical hub, not only for ASEAN, but also for ASEAN and beyond. The size of medical device market in 2019 was around $22 billion, and we forecast the growth rate would be 8 to 10% per each year. In terms of services, Thailand has a universal public health care system covering most of the 70 million population. Thai healthcare infrastructure includes almost 1,400 hospitals and medical facilities, with the amount of 3,086 private hospitals. And you can test the standards of treatment of these medical facilities in Thailand, because more than 60 medical facilities are accredited by the Joint Commission International, which enables Thailand become the fourth highest number of JCI accredited hospitals in the world outside in the USA. And Thailand is also the world's fifth biggest medical tourism market, where 3.5 million medical tourists spend their money close to $600 million, according to the World Travel and Tourism Council's data. Thailand is the most prepared country to cope with health crisis in the regions. According to Global Health Security Index in 2021, Thailand is ranked as the fifth country of 118 country and score allows 66.2 out of the 100 points. Thailand is also Asian number one and the only developing country on the world's top 10 list. This can be interpreted that Thailand has a robust healthcare capacities. Thailand also demonstrates strength on prevention and response capability as seen during COVID-19 pandemics. So Thailand is ready to rebuild investors' confidence and prepare for the investment in the future. Supply chain of the health industry in Thailand can be completed from upstream to downstream. In this slide, you can see that Thailand has various raw materials such as agricultural products, chemicals, plastic, rubbers, metal parts, and textile. This raw material can be able to produce by local factory and able to set properties according to requirements of medical industry. In addition, Thailand also has the excellent medical school, world-class hospital to produce and support quality public health personnel as well. These are many factors that cause demand growth in the medical market in Thailand. The first one about the aging society. In relation to other countries in ASEAN, the population of citizens aged over 60 years old is one of the highest in the region. The second one is spending in the healthcare. Nowadays, lifestyle of Thai people is changed. The growth of consumer spending on health food and medical services in Thailand is greater than the growth of domestic economy and spending on most other categories. Thailand has a compound annual growth rate or CAGR allowed 5.6% in spending on health goods and medical services. The third one, there are some demands from the investment in new hospital. Existing hospital operators plan to invest in new hospital and medical equipment that will support continuous growth in demand for medical devices in Thailand. The fourth one, increase in illness. Certain conditions such as heart disease, stroke, it trend to increase as the number of elder in the Thai society increase. That will drive demand for healthcare and for high technology interventions. The fifth, increase in foreign patients. Not only the increasing number of Thai patients, the many overseas tourists come to Thailand for medical treatment in Thai hospital because of credibility, quality, and standards of medical treatment in Thailand. The number of foreign patients in Thailand increased from 1.7 million in 2010 increased to 3.4 million in 2018, accounted for 8.5% CAGR. The last one, the government policy. Thai government has promoted medical business and intend to establish Thailand as a medical hubs and the base of export of medical devices. Personally, Thailand has still imported the medical devices as high as 85% of the market value, mostly imported high-tech group. However, Thailand has exported the medical devices around 80%. Most of them are medical consumables such as examination gloves, surgical gloves, slings. The government agency that regulates medical device products is the Thai Food and Drug Administration or Thai FDA, which requires that medical devices manufactured also in the country must be approved by the Thai FDA. And this slide shows the multinational medical devices. Okay, move to the second topic. Thailand Board of Investment is a government agency. Our course law responsibility to promote valuable investment, both investment into Thailand and Thai overseas investment. Will I have four core missions as one, to provide comprehensive information and advice for investors who interested to invest in Thailand. The second one, to coordinate between the foreign business community and other government and public agency. And the third, to provide business support services for investors. And the last, to gain investment incentive, both tax and non-tax incentive. The current BOI investment incentive scheme consists of standard and additional incentive. The standard incentive consists of activity-based incentive. This scheme, the investor may be granted up to 8 years of corporate income tax exception. The number of years increase depending on the complexity of technology used in the investment project. And technology-based incentive. The projects are involved in R&D and manufacturing that's used for core technology as biotechnology, nanotechnology, advanced material technology, and digital technology, and have cooperation or technology transfer to Thai University. This scheme will be granted 10 years of corporate income tax exception. And for the additional incentive as merit-based incentive, certain activities are eligible for further exception of corporate income tax. This includes R&D or human resource development. Projects that are situated in decided zones such as Special Economic Zone or EEZ are also eligible for further deduction or exception of corporate income tax. This slide has explained the definition of BOI incentive and product-based package. For example, Group A3 will be granted the corporate income tax exception for 5 years. A2 is 8 years. For Group A1 will be granted 8 years like as A2, but A1 has more the executive that will be granted the limit of the amount tax exception. In addition, from corporate income tax exception, the BOI promoted companies will be granted the exception of import duty for machinery and exception of raw materials for export production and non-tax incentives, including visa, work permit, and land ownership. The incentive for the medical device manufacturing is have from A1 to A4, depending on the type of medical devices that will be produced. For example, surgical mask manufacturing is a manufacturer of medical device made from fabric classified in Group A4. So this surgical mask project can get corporate income tax exception for 3 years. Surgical desks, but correction tools or medical gloves are classified in the manufacturer of other medical device or A3. For the X-ray machine or CT scan are classified in manufacturer of high risk or high technology medical devices in Group A1 or A2. The activity in the manufacturing of medical devices will be granted the exception of import duty for machinery and raw material for export production and will be granted non-tax incentive also. BOI has promoted the pharmaceutical industry to fulfill in the healthcare system in Thailand. The API manufacturers can enjoy 8-year corporate income tax. The manufacturer of conventional medicine can be received 5-year corporate income tax exception. But if project become to produce targeted medicines, they can get 8-year corporate income tax. Targeted medicine is dependent on the announcement from Thai FDA. Basically, definition of targeted medicine is the list of medicine which is for the Thai people, such as medicine for cancer treatment or high-value medicine. BOI also promote the medical services sector as aiming to increasing the national health care services and also attracting the medical tourism to Thailand. This slide sums up the eligible medical service category, including medical center of excellence, hospital, traditional Thai medical center, transporting services, and health rehabilitation service center. For product, the medical business such as biologics, medicine, diagnostics, test kit, and analytical service which use of biotechnology as the main technology in the production process. BOI has considered as targeted industry and will be granted BOI package in A1. For seminar today, we have the objective that share the investment opportunity and incentive within the topic Thailand investment opportunity for medicals, biotechnology, and with the limitation of the time making, it's possible to detail in some information. If you need more the information, you can use the services of our BOI. We have a special unit called One Stop Investment Center, as known as OSOS. This unit will support and facilitate many things for investors. If you are interested, our service you can inquire at our office in Paris. In addition to the tax incentive that I mentioned, the promoted business by the BOI can also use the special non-tax incentives called Smart Visa. The period of Smart Visa as the special visa that's permission to work with no work permit required, no re-entry required, and fast tax service at the international airport. If you need more Smart Visa information, you can contact BOI office Paris as well. And the last, thank you very much for your kind attending, and we do hope to welcome friends investment to Thailand soon. In case you need more information or discussion, we are pleased to welcome you to our BOI office in Paris. Please do not hesitate to contact me contact Director Jan and her colleagues. Besides Paris, we also have 2 offices in Europe as Frankfurt and Stockholm. And finally, we would like to say thank you very much for crisis and COVID-19 that made me to see you on webinar today. Thank you for your attention and please stay safe and strong until we have chance to welcome you to Thailand. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kun Narongrit, for your very insightful presentation. Our next presenter is Mr. Narongrit Galaput, Chief Executive Officer from Bangkok Dusit Medical Services, BDMS. He will explain who is BDMS and the opportunities to collaborate with BDMS network. Thank you very much, Kun Narongrit.
Hi, good morning to Europe, and you hear me well? Sorry.
Yes, we can.
Wonderful, Losio, thank you very much, and thank you to Kun Sutikiat. It was wonderful presentation. I myself could learn much more, and in a very organized way that you put the ideas and the information together. So to the audience, allow me to zoom you down to what are in the industry and what are in the real sector that we are operating as healthcare operators in Thailand. My name is Narongrit Galaput. I'm the CEO of the non-hospital business for Bangkok Dusit Medical Service. So very pleased to share with you our story. As you can see here that we are celebrating our 50 years anniversary, and we are also a member of the Dow Jones Sustainable Index, which speak a lot about how we have been committed to this, providing good service to Thai people and also to the visitor. This is just important notice, disclaimer. You can please use this when you want to do further about this information.
Kun Narongrit, could I just ask to put this in a slide mode, so the presentation of the maybe perfect.
Oh, I am so sorry. Okay, this is slideshow. Thank you for reminding me. This slide is pretty much Bangkok Dusit Medical Service at a glance. You can see our size and where we are coverage in Thailand. Basically, this is a 50 years old group of companies. We are now own and operate 53 hospitals, providing 8,200 beds at least. And we employ about 11,000 doctors and full-time and part-time. And we also full-time employ 7,000 registered nurse. And we operate as a center of excellence, whereby we focus on improving the medical care service to the level so-called a center of excellence, in which I will explain later. And as I mentioned, we are a member of Dow Jones Sustainable Index and also other, in which I will share later. In the group, you will see information on the right-hand side that we are consist of 6 very famous group of hospital in Thailand. Most of them are very old group of hospital, but it became one group under BDMS for a reason in which I'll talk later. But in numbers, Bangkok Hospital has 26 hospitals throughout Thailand and also Cambodia. We altogether about 4,000 beds, and you can read the numbers. Semitivate has 7, and Payathai Hospital, Paulo Hospital, BNH, Bangkok Nursing Home is the oldest private hospital in Thailand. Go back about 120 years old. Royal Hospital are the hospital we operate under this brand in Cambodia. We have 2 hospitals in Phnom Penh and in Siem Reap. Other local hospitals are not using one of these hospital name yet because they are still new and also operating as a primary care. Aside from hospital, you see the non-hospital business, whereby we have BDMS Wellness Clinic We have also A&B Medic Pharma Safe Drug, whereby these are the drug manufacturing and also pharmacy store. And health provide a lot of medical support and largest laboratory service in Thailand and maybe upper Southeast Asia. The whole concept of our group, as we employ totally approximate, including part-time, approximate 50,000 people. We operate as hub and spoke, as you can see on the left-hand side, whereby an established patient referral system with patient volume of about 30,000 OPD per day and about close to 4,000 IPD. IPD are the average daily census. People who stay with us overnight on average is about 4,000 people in our group. Because we are listed, and this slide I would like to show to you from the market capitalization on the left hand above, top left hand, you will see that Hospital Corporation of America is the leading in terms of market cap. But following, you will see Fresenius from, I think, Germany and IHS based in Malaysia, Singapore, Ramsay as well. Then you see BDMS. Our market cap is about $12 billion US, whereby the revenue is about 2.5 billion US. Euro, I'm sorry, we already converted into euro for you. But because predominantly we are operating in Thailand, so we are able to control the operating costs very well in compared to other operators. So when it comes to percentage of EBITDA margin and net profit margin, we are the leader. Okay, this slide is a little bit busy, but if you look into detail, you will see the story of 2004 January until January 2022. So basically 18 years of success from one hospital to become 10 hospitals, 13 hospitals and up. And we did that with the two reasons. One is the so-called greenfield investment. So number and names of the hospital that we opened from the greenfield are in green colors, and in the brown color you will see merger and acquisition happen along the way. So that built us up until today 53 hospitals, and the revenue at the bottom of about 2 billion euro with the EBITDA margin at about 23%, which is quite healthy. If you remember Thailand map, this slide designed to show our hospital location. Mainly we are quite concentrate in Bangkok on the left hand side here, but also in all of the major city, especially touristic and important international destination for international traveler. We have very well established hospital and facility to serve not only Thai people, but also the visitor. As not only patient care that we are doing, we are providing from neuroscience, hearts, cancer, orthopedics, and occupational to traumas. But not only that, in terms of affiliation, we know that we have to keep up with the best practice in the world. So we have a very strong affiliation with not only in Thailand, but also a worldwide institution to make sure that we are up to the standard. And also academic and research publication. This is some of the example, the Oregon Health and Science University in Oregon has been a long-term partner with us in providing occupational health, pediatrics and rehabilitation, cardiologies and dental, as well as Hanover Medical Schools and Missouri Orthopedic Institute. From the US, Cedars-Sinai, and Japan, Sano Hospital, Nagoya Hospital, and also in Thailand, the leading medical school, all of them. So this is to ensure that we are not in the business of making money. We are in the business of being excellence in healthcare service. This slide shows the coverage of our brand to the market segmentation. If you follow me on the left-hand side, target patient, and look to their purchasing power, you will see that at the bottom we have 3% revenue from Social Security fund, but majority of our revenue come from insurance and self-pay from the middle incomer and also the high incomer. On top of that, we have 22% of the revenue come from international patient. Okay, this shows the commitment to continue investment. So we in hospital we normally measure beds, so number of beds that we could provide service. So we are moving from 8.5 thousand beds to more than 9,000 beds in the next 3 years. So we have already, these are the committed hospital that we in the plan. In fact, many of them are already in construction. So you will see Semitivate International for Children and Bangkok, Rayong, Phuoc Dang, and other hospital. So with that, I would like to confirm to the investor that we are committed to expand because we see market opportunity. This slide shows in particular on the wellness as a destination. The Thai government have set Thailand as a destination for wellness, whereby we have so much to offer when it comes to wellness. Not only the people, the food, the weather here, but also the technology and the readiness of the people, so that our group have decided to invest further. So there is a project plan of up close to 400 million US euro to be invested for a facility of over 170,000 square meter. And this is right in the middle of the city. And this will be a what's so-called silver wellness center by Lumpini Park, whereby it's not only facility for care, but also resident tower for people who want to live an active lifestyle in Thailand, both for Thai people and also international. I can see that it will be much easier for foreigner to live in Thailand in the future. And I am totally convinced that Bangkok will get cleaner, more organized and others. So this kind of project is what we decided to do. And of course, it will have to be a center of excellence. Not only from the vertical improvement that we want to do, so-called the center of excellence, but on the other hand, providing a good quality care to everybody, anytime, anywhere, is also our mission. So instead of providing service to 1 or 2 million patients per year, we're targeting to provide 20 million patients per year. And that can only be done through the technology, telemedicine. In this slide, you will see that we keep patient right in the middle. So we have a lot of information, and we are providing patient health record for families and individuals. And on the larger scales, we have health content, whereby we want to promote healthy lifestyle. So we will be part of the family to ensure that they know what condition they have, and they can be as good as they want by using our health content. And if they come into any problem, we have hospital, diagnostic centers, pharmaceutical and home care, the home service, and also teleconsultation. This platform has been built. We can continue improving it, but it's already in action from today. Touch on a little bit on the genomics and part, because everything is about genomic. So BDMS has invest in new company. This is my baby too. So the genomic center has been set up, and now we are able to provide a personalized medicine, an opportunity for not only for Thailand but upper ASEAN for 250 million people. They are coming to Thailand already today, but we want to provide a more extensive and comprehensive oncologies and other pharmacogenomics treatment to make sure everyone are in wellness condition. So we are ready for this as well. This is another example of oncology service. Everyone would be concerned mostly about cancer in the future, but we have been operating as a dedicated cancer hospital for a long time. But not only that, we are gearing up and getting ourselves ready to do what we call precision oncology, whereby the precision surgery, radiation therapies, and comprehensive genomic profiling. This will have to be done using genomic base and also accurate radiation information to make sure we do target therapy and immunotherapy correctly. And we're not doing this alone. We're doing with our collaboration, as I already mentioned. So we not only being expert in technology and practice, but we also design our facility to be most convenient and less stress as possible. This slide I want to share to give everyone a confidence in our group that we're not in the business of making money. We are business of being expert in treatment and also be responsible for social. So we have been granted, as I already mentioned, Dow Jones Sustainable Index, but we are also a AA certified member of this MSCI, which means that we are leader in this field of healthcare, and investor can be less assured that this group is operate with all kind of care for stakeholders. And also we are granted quite a number of certificates from JCI camps and corporate good governance from Thailand as a country. This is a quick overview of industry. Thailand overall is about 12 billion euro expenditure per year. And this is 2019, so it is more by now after the COVID as well. So you can see that our group cover the portion of insurance and cash, and also social security fund, where on the other side would be provided by public care organization. This shows the total number of hospitals in Thailand on the left-hand side. It's compare supply and demand. At the top left is talk about what is the supply. We have about 1,300 hospitals in Thailand, and 400 of them are private hospital, whereby serving to about serving to about less number of patients, but more sophisticated in treatment. So the total bed in Thailand is 140,000 bed in approximate. You can see number of doctor per 10,000 population that Thailand is quite lag behind in terms of number of doctors per 10,000 population. We are good, reasonable, well mandate when it comes to nurses and bed. Whereby on the demand side, you can see that the supply is growing about 3% year on year. This is pretty much based on the government budget and also, but the demand side is more by double the scale. So and BDMS provide about 18% of the bed in total. So we are well coverage when it comes to private healthcare. and we are, if you compare Thailand with other countries, we are the country that manage our expenditure on healthcare very well. So I won't spend much time here, but basically the aging population, Thailand is following Singapore very, very closely. And also the household income and insurance are increasing. So pretty much demand is here, and Thailand or Thai market or Thai people are also able to pay for their healthcare service in the future. This show in comparison, if you do the heart surgery, this is compare USA, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, and India. And if you follow, each of these service, you will see that Thailand, when compared to US, is almost like 1/10 of the cost of doing the same thing in US. But I can say that the quality is the same, if not better, in some way. I think I have spent a lot of time already, so I like to leave you with this slide, more information. You can reach us. But in the nutshell, I think Thailand is a very sustainable, sizable healthcare business that any multinational or any inventor, good technology owner should not miss it. So thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to talk to you in more specific. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kun Narongrid, for your presentation. Our next speaker is Dr. Günther Denk. He's the chairman for Sanet ASEAN Advisors, and he will talk about practical information on legal requirements and registration of the companies in Thailand. Thank you, Dr. Günther.
Yeah, thank you very much too. Let me go to the presentation mode. Yeah, I would like to give you a little bit an overview about how to do in practice the business in Thailand, mostly here for the medical industry, and also a little bit about the legal regulations. Let me have a simple sentence about Sanet. We are since 2004 here in Thailand, guiding mostly European companies to the market as in regarding marketing or regarding market entry, and also in legal things. So we have 4 companies here in Thailand, which is a legal firm. It's a management consulting firm for market entries, a trading company, and recruiting if you want to look for your own people. So basically, let's start in short words with legal regulations. There is one thing which is a little bit disturbing for most people coming new to Thailand, and that is the fact that we have a so-called Thailand Foreign Business Act, which does not permit foreigners to offer any kind of services or to involve in trading in Thailand.
We cannot see your, excuse me, we cannot see your presentation.
Okay, then let me go back.
Thank you.
Let me go back. I thought I showed it.
There is a share screen button.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Share again. Do you see something now?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay, though we were here already, and here we come to the legal regulations. I'm sorry for that. So basically, to repeat that, here in Thailand, for foreigners, it's not permitted to do any kind of services and to trade goods in Thailand because there is a so-called Foreign Business Act, and that says that non-Thai individuals or legal entities, that means persons or also companies, are permitted to do these activities. Also not Thai companies or partnerships with more than 40% of foreign capital, and also, of course, not partnerships with foreign management. This is a basic rule what everybody has to watch when he comes to Thailand, and I will give you, of course, a couple of solutions in the following. We have here in Thailand, as you heard, a lot of good and very sensible regulations about food and drug administrations. Important for you is also to know that every importer needs its own license. So what is not possible is that you as an exporter will offer or will apply for a license and give it to a couple of different importers or partners here in Thailand. Every importer needs an import license. For special products, as you heard, for example, herbal products, you need even a special agent to apply for who has a deep knowledge about that system. And here a first hint, if you go under BOI, that there are companies who apply here for a BOI permission, and then they hold the license as an importer. And of course, once the products are imported legally, you can sell it to different kinds, to different distributors here in Thailand. About the BOI hold company, I will tell you a little bit more in a minute. So don't be desperate now and don't give up. There are some hurdles here in Thailand, but they all can be solved. And this is now some options how to enter the Thai market in a legal and very also practical, successful way. The first way is a little bit expensive for companies who at least have a capital of 100 million Thai baht, which is about roughly 2.8 million euro. They are not subject of the trading restrictions. So they can buy and sell either to retailers or they can sell direct to end users. You also can apply for foreign business license. It's a comparatively difficult procedure. It may take 6 to 12 months, and you would have to show that your products are of special importance for the Thai society or the development of the Thai industry, which is not always very easy. Then the next one, of course, you can look for a contractual solution. For example, a local distributor, a distributor who imports your products and sells it. You all know that this is usually a very good way for special products. On the other side, you don't have direct contacts to your end users, but you have intermediates between you and your clients, and not everybody loves that system very much. Therefore, our favorite is usually to go under board of investment, because the board of investment is under special applications ready to give you a so-called foreign business certificate. And the foreign business certificate gives you a lot of rights in the way of market your products here in Thailand, to wholesale your products in Thailand, and also to do services, which is very important. Finally, there is a way what especially we also offer as an entry stage for the first 1, 2, 3 years to find out how the market is. It's also a contractual solution. You create a so-called business unit. This business unit with a service organization will have specialists working just for your products. And after 2 or 3 years, when you know it is successful, then many companies go the next step and do their own company, have their wholly foreign-owned enterprise, and then start doing business with their own company. Let me explain a little bit about that BOI TISO, Trade in Investment Service Office. It's for us an ideal stage or ideal way to enter the market if you're ready to do your own entity and to invest a reasonable amount first. You will have, under this promotion of the BOI, the possibility to have 100% ownership of your company. So it's a wholly foreign-owned enterprise. You can do on-site services. That means you can help in installation, maintenance, repair, calibration, everything what is important for medical devices. You can support your affiliated companies, so mostly the parent company, in marketing and sales. That means you can promote your products here in Thailand, and you can import and even sell your products to other distributors. So you are your own importer, you have your own license, and then you start selling to resellers. Unfortunately, you cannot sell to the end users. So a TISO would not be permitted to sell, for example, directly to a hospital. You would have to go in selling through another distributor. However, you can provide your services like maintenance, repair, calibration, and everything by yourself. Finally, which may be interested for a longer term, you even can own land ownership. and you get a lot of easier work permits for foreigners, which usually is not so quite easy in Thailand, but you can employ foreigners then here in Thailand if you are under that BOI system. Maybe one more sentence to it. The investment is affordable. You have to have at least 3 million baht of capital. That means about 75,000, 80,000 euro. But this capital, of course, you can use for your expenses. It's not a fee. It's just the capital. Like in your own company, the capital is for free usage by the management. And you should have at least 10 million Thai baht per year. That is about 250,000 euro on expenses, on business expenses. Of course, the government will not support a company without capital and without profit and without any expenses in Thailand. This is not what any country in the world would love to have here. So now talking about the business unit, that is an entry stage before you do your own entity here in Thailand. It's mostly a contractual startup, a little bit on a lower level on expenses. You will have a person who exclusively works for your company and your products. You have absolutely fixed and transparent costs, and you have marketing experts in a service company who are around you. For example, in our sister company here in Sanet Trade, we have about 40 marketing experts working in different branches. And the next step then, after 2-3 years, made your experience in selling your goods and on the market chances of your goods, then you would go the next step, means a foreign direct investment, or for example, in the production or even a BOI TISO, as I mentioned before. So what is a typical structure of medical sales as a European manufacturer in Thailand? You have to know, again, that you need an importer holding the FDA license. So if you don't own your own company here in Thailand to own your import license, you need to have an importer who does that for you. And if you want to have 3 or 4 importers, they all need to apply for the license. The good news is that the importers mostly are also ready to guide through this procedure. So they can do this procedure for you, and it's a question of your cooperation, how you share in the cost. But at least you are not alone then, you not need to necessarily employ a lot of lawyers to do that, but your experienced partner in Thailand may do that. Next to the importer, you often need a distributor, because not every importer is also a good distributor. They have the license, they know how to do, they know how to import, the logistics, everything. But not every importer has also very good connections to the end users, like the hospitals or the clinics. And therefore, many companies need a second partner who then buys from the importer. Thirdly, mostly you need your own maintenance partner. That is another company that later takes care. Not every distributor is good in maintenance, and not every distributor is willing to do maintenance and repair services. And finally, it is always very favorable to have your own representative some way in form of such a business unit or something else who gives special services to your end clients. I give you an example. We had a partner company or a customer client who was selling medical devices for the heart treatment for the ICU departments. And the fantastic thing of the new technology was it was without any noise. And of course, it was really expensive, so it was given for a free test to a hospital. And after 3 or 4 weeks, the importer or the distributor came back, and the unit was still standing in the corner where it was delivered before. It was not used. The reason was that the people applying this, the nurses, they did not know exactly when they were in front of that unit if it was working properly or not, because it didn't give any noise. So the partner said, well, but this is why it's an advantage to be very calm without noise, but we have a warning light and we have a warning tone in the sister's office. And then the answer was yes, but they felt disturbed by that noise and they switched it off. So this was a reason why it was not used. So if you have your own representatives, he will follow up. He will really implement it on sites. We will support the nurses. He will support the doctors. And that, you know, in the medical industry is a key issue if you want to be successful. It's not just selling, it's being on site and supporting the hospitals on site. So this is the one important thing. Then there is another thing I really would like to tell you very seriously. Many people, they look for a partner, a distribution partner, and then they say, well, we don't have much to lose. This is a very big company, they have a big name and something like that. And they take more or less the next best where they have some good information. Please always consider in a country, especially with a culture like Thailand, you have one shot. People know one another. People who know the strengths and the weaknesses of one another, and they don't appreciate foreign companies who come here and complaining about the partners, changing the partners frequently. No, you should find from the very beginning your ideal partner. That means he must be motivated in a very special way just to take your products in. He must be able to concentrate on your product, not only to have one more product in his catalog. And it's also very important that he can at least, let's put it this way, 15 to 20% increase his business if he makes you successful. If you are only responsible for 2 or 3% of this distributor or importer, then who are you? If you have 50% of their sales, then the guy was too small, the partner was too small, and he might depend on you, which you may not always want to have as a result. So please look at the business culture, look at the situation, at the real motivation, and therefore, not only us, but good consultancy companies will do professional partner searches where you get presented 2 or 3 or 4 companies at the end, which are well evaluated and the market was properly screened for the right partner for just your company. So for more questions, please don't hesitate. Again, I always can advise in Frankfurt or in Paris, the offices, they are doing excellent work. They give you excellent information. And of course, as consultants, we are here in Thailand anyway open to support you and guide you even through the business plans that you have to support to submit to the BOI. And you can be quite sure BOI is a good way to enter the Thai market. And if you want to have practical support of that, for sure, Sanet is also a good way. So, bienvenue en Thaïlande. Welcome to Thailand. I hope we see you soon here in Thailand selling successfully your products.
Thank you, Dr. Deng, for your presentation.